All right, guys, check this out. Today, I want to talk about a topic a lot of you have been asking about and questions: rust and surface corrosion on brand new vehicles. Is it acceptable? Is it not? Let's dive into this. So I'm at a dealership here. They got a lot of brand new fleet here. A lot of vehicles, Broncos, everything. This is a dealership down in Florida. And they got a lot of brand new, full upfitted Econoline trucks, chassis cabs, everything, transits. But what I found interesting is here is 4 brand new Econoline chassis cabs that will be upfitted by a local upfitter. And what's interesting is all of these are 2023. I got to check 2023 or 2024s, but they're brand new. And I'm going to show you some things that might catch you off guard. Maybe you'd be concerned, but maybe you shouldn't. Let's check this first thing out, some surface corrosion. See the lug studs? See the hub bearings? See the face? Kind of got some oxidation, right? Well, let's go look at the window sticker. Let's see what year this is, and let's see when it was built. 2024, built August 15th to 2023. So this is a brand new 2024. Now let's go to the next one. Exact same thing. Let's go to the next one. Exact same thing. Let's go to the next one. Exact same thing. Let's look at the window stickers. 2024, built August 11th, 2023. So we got 4 brand new Econolines chassis cab. Now, let's look in the back frame area. Let's look and see how this all looks. So you can see the body mounts. You got some surface corrosion, drive shafts, some of the different mounts in the transmission, exhaust hanger. Exhaust looks pretty good. Stainless, doesn't have too much corrosion, but you see some of the hangers. But you can kind of go down the drive shaft. Look at some of the individual bolts that hold in some of the different mounts. Some of the springs that hold parking brakes, bolts that hold on some of these. It's actually kind of neat to see production airbags on a vehicle. I wonder whose kit they are. Look at that, guys. Production airlift bags from the factory. Pretty neat. That might be part. I'm going to look at the window sticker, but let's just focus on corrosion. You can kind of see the axles. You can kind of see a little bit of the rust on the where they slug, where they do the welds, and then just general body mounts. Okay, so this is one of them. Let's go to the next one. Same setup, same amount of corrosion in all the same spots. You can kind of tell this is like a low carbon steel. The bolts that all kind of hold in these airbags. Drive shaft looks similar. Some surface corrosion on the exhaust system, nothing crazy there. Now, let's go to the next one here. It's where you see a little bit different surface corrosion kind of going down the drive shaft and whatnot. So this corrosion looks a little different. These trucks were all built the same time. But if you notice, it actually looks like these body mounts have already been painted, because you can kind of see a little bit of overspray on the frames. Kind of look at some of these areas right here, get out of the shade. These areas have already been touched up, which is kind of nice. Even the bolt heads right here, kind of see down the body side. But look at these drive shafts. Looks crazy, right? It's like whitish oxidation all the way up to some of the frame side mounts. Body mounts look pretty good. All right, so now let's look at another Econoline 450. We've already talked about the front hub wheels. Now you're gonna notice something right off the bat. Look at the overspray here. You can tell this was painted after the fact. You can see the overcoat where this has been painted over, and you can kind of see the spray. And you can tell they kind of hit the areas where they're gonna rust, like here, here, here. Let's see if there's any other spots I don't see. But look at the drive shaft. Boom, just a ton and ton of corrosion. So the question you want to ask yourself is this something to be worried about? In my opinion, even though this drive shaft, the corrosion does not look good, I don't see how this would have any impact on long-term durability, because this is all surface level corrosion. I don't see how this would make the drive shaft last longer, especially in like cast joints like that. That's pretty standard. It's actually pretty tough in a lot of cases to get a paint to hold up on a cast surface. I wouldn't be worried about that. The frame looks good. It's just all the auxiliary hardware. Is this summer climates in, salty climates in Florida, which inhibits some corrosion? I think that's part of it. This is sat out in high salinity air, and we can even see the rear hubs as well. kind of see some of that as well. But I don't know necessarily if it should be a concern. I think the biggest thing is the optics of it don't look great, and it kind of makes you think, man, what the heck are you getting for the money? But keep in mind, guys, these are work vehicles. This is not a passenger car vehicle like all of these. When I crawl underneath these and look at some of the componentry, I bet we see a lot better corrosion protection. Yeah, look at that. Now let's look at the drive shaft underneath this thing. Yeah, look at the drive shaft. Looks really good. Don't see much corrosion on there. So, you know, Ford could probably improve, do a little spray painting, add a little bit more cost, but does the end customer for a vehicle like this, is it impacted? I don't think it is. I don't think that's, even though it doesn't look great, I don't think it really inhibits long-term durability. So I wouldn't really care. I wish it looked better, and I think this is an area where Ford can improve. But let's say this adds $50 in cost per vehicle or $100 in cost. That might be a big difference in the profitability in this vehicle. Okay, to add a little more context, let's look at this 2024 F-150 and let's look at the corrosion protection all under the undercarriage. Looks really good. Not seeing anything crazy there. Let's look at the axles. Axle undercoating looks great. Let's look at the drive shaft. Hard to see up in there, but everything looks really good in here. Not seeing anything. Now, just for another perspective, let's look at a standard Super Duty, not a chassis cab. Look at the undercoating. Looks good. Axle, body mounts. See if we can get underneath. Look at the drive shaft. Not seeing that same level of corrosion. Kind of interesting, right? Here's another one. Looks good here. Let's go over to this King Ranch. See what we see on this one. Looks good. Let's look at the drive shaft. Look at that, painted. Underbody corrosion protection looks great. So this is more proof that they're being selective of what vehicles have additional undercoating protection. And it's not a priority on some of these vehicles, like the chassis cab vehicles, which is a low cost vehicle for upfitting. So I'm not trying to give Ford an alibi on this. I just don't think it's really all that important when you think of the grand scheme of things. Functionally, everything is fine. This is not a passenger car. Ford could clearly step up in their undercoating, but we've also seen them do this on other vehicles. If we look at the new Super Duty, if we look at the new Ford F-150, they've clearly addressed some of the passenger car undercoating and have improved that. So, hey, I hope you found this video helpful. If you do, feel free to give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.